So welcome back to Ring B. Evening session about to get underway at the Legionov in Kielce. It's the 2021 AIBA Youth Men's and Women's World Championships. And in this session, we have got the light welterweights and the middleweights. We were scheduled to have 15 bouts. We've actually had 3 bouts declared walkovers. So the first one is a fight between Harutyun, HAKOBKOKHYAN, that top one there, that's going to be a walkover. So the Armenian will go through. Unfortunately, WAKITA was unable to take part. And then we get into the middleweights, as you see down towards the bottom of the screen there. And that fight between Ilias Ben-Lamy and Marcel Mangold, that's a walkover too. Mangold goes straight through from that one. And at the bottom, Nikolaos Antonopoulos, he goes straight through because Anthony Vivero of Ecuador unable to take part. So 15 fights trimmed down to 12. Still plenty of action to get stuck into. Had a really good afternoon session. Had some very, very good fights, particularly the one between Alaverdiev and Vinci Guerrero at light heavyweight. Check that out when the individual fights go up on AIBA's YouTube after the completion of the session. Probably sometime later today. They're putting up all the individual fights as well as the entire session. It's just such a good fight, that really worth a look. Plenty of them were.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring B, in the fight number 161, men's 64 kilogram, win by walkover from Armenia, Harutyun HAKOBKOKHYAN. And we have the second fight, and please, into the bout number 162, 64 kilogram men's, to the red corner from Turkmenistan, Zhantoro TASHIEV.
So our first fight at 64 kilos this evening. Here is Zhantoro TASHIEV heading for the red corner, boxing for Kyrgyzstan.
And his opponent placed into the blue corner from Serbia, Stefan.
And boxing for Serbia, Stefan CAMOVIC.
And the judges of this bout, Jordan, Poland, Guatemala, Armenia, Latvia, and the referee from Mongolia, Mr. Van Dolbadrak.
So TASHIEV of Kyrgyzstan in the red, CAMOVIC of Serbia in the blue. 34 fighters in the light welterweight division for the men.
Round 1.
Only welterweight with 36 is more populated. So TASHIEV, a southpaw, CAMOVIC, orthodox fighter. Looking for the left of the body there. TASHIEV early on has found it a couple of times. And again there. But that won't be, I was going to say that won't be adjudged to be a scoring blow because I thought the referee was going to make the point there that it was delivered with the inside of the glove, but actually He was looking just to remove a bit of loose tape from the wrist. Left to the body again there from TASHIEV. He's found that a few times. Good jab, though, there from CAMOVIC. Just tapping those lead hands. Right hand to the body, and then he just moves straight in there, CAMOVIC. Left to the body from TASHIEV. Nice left hand from CAMOVIC, just caught TASHIEV as he was looking to open out there slightly. Good fight this, minute in. Well matched these two. Right hand lead there from CAMOVIC, and again just comes straight in onto the shoulder, really committed to it. As I've said before, that's hard to counter when someone commits to a punch like that. They might lose their balance slightly, but if they just keep traveling in behind it quick, then they shut down that space rapidly. And unless you can take a very quick step backward to the side as the opponent, there's really not much you can do with it. Neat little combination on the inside there from TASHIEV.
Keep your head up.
Falling short with the left hand there. CAMOVIC was trying to make TASHIEV pay, but couldn't quite land the left himself.
Break. Step back. Hey, listen. Break, step back. Box. No, hold him, go. Sine 15 sekundi da uzmemo rundu. Tako je. Desni leg, desni leg. Namesti. Tako je, bravo Stefane. Desni leg, samo. Tako je, bravo, bravo, ali bravo Stefane.
So the end of the opening round between these two, TASHIEV of Kyrgyzstan in red and CAMOVIC of Serbia in blue. And fairly evenly contested, that one. TASHIEV was looking to the body, did score to the body a number of times. Split scoring, 3 judges going for TASHIEV, 2 going for CAMOVIC. I'd have been TASHIEV myself, I think. But as I said, they were evenly matched. There wasn't a great deal between the two of them, so that's set up nicely.
Seconds out, please.
Dobro koncentraciju imaš, hajde. Samo to nastavi, dodaj više udaraca.
Into the second, Zhantoro, TASHIEV, Kyrgyzstan. He's the southpaw in red. Nice 1-2 there from the start. That was delivered by CAMOVIC, Stefan CAMOVIC, in the blue, boxing for Serbia. Looking to let go with that right hand there, TASHIEV, and CAMOVIC looked for the right again. A straighter left hand that time from TASHIEV. Got through. Referee saying that CAMOVIC was holding there. They're very hot on holding, the referees. It's a good thing because it means that you get more action. The fighters are just discouraged from taking time out of the bout to try and nullify any threat that their opponent has. I don't think CAMOVIC did an awful lot wrong there, to be honest, but the referee was right on him. And that's why he raises his arms there, just to make it absolutely clear that he's not doing any holding. But when he throws punches like that, as I said during the first round, quite often he'll throw that single shot and then just move right in behind it, get onto the shoulder and tie his man up. Well, both of them end up on the ground. TASHIEV kind of almost spear tackled CAMOVIC know what that means if you follow rugby union. Led with the right hand to the body there, CAMOVIC, and then followed up with a left. He's quite unorthodox at times in the way he launches his attacks. Nice right hand there from TASHIEV, and I think CAMOVIC feeling that TASHIEV came in a bit low with the head there. There we go. Lead right hand straight onto the shoulder, and he does initiate that clinch. So he does need to be careful. It's something he does. He looks to throw that single shot straight away, straight away. He's claiming there that that's TASHIEV. Well, the point has been taken away from TASHIEV there for coming in low with the head. He has tended to do that a little bit, but the way I look at that, that was not his fault, because a couple of times, and he's done this numerous times, but a couple of times in a row there, what he's done, CAMOVIC, is throw a punch and then move straight in, exactly like he did there. And the heads cracked together there, but it was initiated by him. And that time the referee is saying that TASHIEV was not to blame. So I think that is harsh on TASHIEV, that point. I really do, because that whole movement, that whole action, that dynamic was a result of something that CAMOVIC was doing. So into the final few seconds of round two, and a point off in a 3-round fight is a big, big thing. Well, there goes the bell at the end of the round. So that's a real talking point for me, because, as I said, CAMOVIC had been spoken to about holding, and you throw that single shot, you steam in behind it, you wrap your man up, and that's what he was doing. He did it 2-3 times in a row. The final time, he came in straight, the heads cracked together, and we saw what we saw. So CAMOVIC has got that one with 3 judges, and then with a point off as well, that gives him clear water with two judges. He's out of sight with 2 judges, really. He's got to hold on to that 19-18. So this is not over. Not by any stretch, but he needs that one card to hold on to that one card, that narrow card rather.
Seconds out, please.
Whereas he has got to turn it around. TASHIEV has got to turn it around.
Third round.
Left hand from TASHIEV, wasn't quite enough room for it. Bit messy. Referee just talking to TASHIEV about keeping the head up again there. Well, it is what it is. For the left hand there, didn't quite land it. The right hand, I think, probably was slightly around the back of the head. CAMOVIC threw a neat straight right. I think he's quite clever, CAMOVIC, with his reactions at times. And the referee takes a point there from CAMOVIC for holding, and that levels things up on the deductions front, and that could be extremely important, because, as I said before, losing a point to a deduction is a big deal in the 3-round fight, and that really puts TASHIEV behind the 8 ball. But CAMOVIC has now lost a point as well. So if CAMOVIC doesn't go on to win this round, then TASHIEV will be able to turn this around. And CAMOVIC, as I said, by virtue of throwing those single punches, moving in, grabbing hold of his opponent, that is holding. He hasn't done it quite so much recently, but the point went eventually. And it is messy, this final round. It's not that easy to separate them, because there's been a lot of this. Wrestling on the inside. There again, he throws that single shot, CAMOVIC, and moves in behind it. TASHIEV stands his ground there. That's all he's really doing. So CAMOVIC out of sight on 2 cards. He was 3 points up because he won both the first 2 rounds with those 2 judges, and there was the point off. So if he loses this round, and with the point deduction, then TASHIEV still can't catch him on those 2 cards. So it's all about the other 3. And one in particular where he had a 1 round, a 1 point rather, advantage. Messy that final round, as I said, it was untidy. Not much clean landed from either one of them. I don't really know how you go splitting them in terms of the round score. We've got the point deduction, we know that.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner of bout number 162 in the ring B in this 64-kilogram man, win by points with split decision. From the red corner, Zhantoro, TASHIEV, Kyrgyzstan.
And TASHIEV gets it. 1-1 with the warnings. Those final round scores, he won at 10-9 on all 5 cards. With the deduction, that made that 10-8. And it's that card in the middle there that has proved to be the crucial one, I think. And that point deduction from CAMOVIC in the final round was critical. 1-1 in terms of those deductions, and I think that was fair enough because I thought the point taken off TASHIEV, for me, and I explained why I thought that was harsh.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we got about 163 in the ring B men's Welter weight. Please into the red corner from Russia, Mikail, ZAINULABIDOV.
So this is Mikail, ZAINULABIDOV of Russia, European youth champion. I've heard about him, I've heard plenty about him over the course of the few days that we've been here. You speak to people from different nations and they're always going to talk up their own fighters, of course, but...
Please into the blue corner, his opponent from Colombia, Carlos Santiago Sanchez Moreno.
ZAINULABIDOV has walked the walk. He's won that European youth title. So from Colombia here, heading for the blue corner, Carlos Santiago Sanchez Moreno.
The judges of this bout, Slovakia, Sri Lanka, Israel, Korea, and Azerbaijan, and the referee from Poland, Matvei, Yuto.
Aquí hay que salir vivo, despierto todo el tiempo. Si tú primero, confío en ti.
That's ZAINULABIDOV on the right there, boxing for Russia. And over in the blue corner, Carlos Sanchez, I think he would go by. They've given him the full treatment in terms of the name. They've put down all the given names that he would give it. Carlos Santiago Sanchez Moreno.
Round
so
one.
64 kilos, ZAINULABIDOV of Russia, the European youth champion, in the red there, and Carlos Sanchez in the blue. Decent right hand there from ZAINULABIDOV. well short with the right hand there, ZAINULABIDOV. Got his shape back together nice and quick. Right hand came in from SANCHEZ. Jab just snuck through the guard there from SANCHEZ as well. Swapping right hands. ZAINULABIDOV's was probably slightly the better of the two. Nice jab there from the Russian. Saw the head snap back of SANCHEZ. Turned southpaw there very briefly. SANCHEZ was kind of standing square for a second there. Combination coming in there from ZAINULABIDOV. Just heating up this into the second half of round one. Good fight, though. Left hand there from ZAINULABIDOV was bang on the belt line. I don't think the referee was in the right position to see it, or he might have had a quick word about low blows. As soon as you stray near the border, then the referees will generally have a quick word. Left hand from ZAINULABIDOV. Referee telling SANCHEZ to keep his head up, leading off with a left hand there, ZAINULABIDOV. Just dipping to his left and just ripping through with it. Didn't manage to make contact. Right hand just about got there from the Russian. Again, reaching to the body with the left. SANCHEZ with the 1-2. Both of these two operating kind of right on the edge of their range here. The punches are just about getting there most of the time. He steps in with the left to the body there, ZAINULABIDOV. Good left-hand counter, though, from SANCHEZ. Cuffing left hand as he just shrugged him off from the Colombian as well. Final few seconds of round one. Good fight, good competitive opening round. And split with the scoring, that doesn't surprise me. 10-9s in favour of ZAINULABIDOV from Slovakia, Sri Lanka and Korea, and the other way for Israel and Azerbaijan.
Seconds out, please.
Be interesting to see in this second round if either one of them just commits that little bit more, just gets that feet slightly, gets those feet rather slightly closer. As I said in the first round, a lot of the time they're right on the borderline of range, and those jabs and right hands are touching their opponent, and that counts. That's a good right hand there from SANCHEZ. He did step in a little bit more with that one, as did ZAINULABIDOV there. Chances are, signs are here that they're going to do exactly what I suggested they might. Left hand to the body there from ZAINULABIDOV, and just commit a little bit more, step into their shots more. Look to really try and punch through that target rather than just reach it. Does like to lead off with that left hand. It does leave him quite open, though, ZAINULABIDOV. It's a dangerous shot. You can see it coming because he has to really open out for it. Turn southpaw there, SANCHEZ, not for very long. Nice jab there from Sanchez, and ZAINULABIDOV was trying to move in. Got hit with the jab. It wasn't rock solid, but it was solid enough. Just caused him to lose his balance. And when that happens, he's got to take a step off, reset, go again. Nice left hand to the body there from Sanchez on the inside. That drew a little bit of a reaction from ZAINULABIDOV. I was only a few feet away from that one. Into the final minute of round 2. And again, this is similar to the first round. There's not much between these two at all. ZAINULABIDOV, I think, probably throws slightly more volume. Sanchez maybe a little bit more accurate, but trying to assess who has landed the greater volume of clean punches between these two is not an easy thing to do. Right hand into the body there as ZAINULABIDOV came forward, and a short right too. Opened out for the right hand, and Sanchez just shot a straight right down the middle himself, which got there before ZAINULABIDOV's hook. Good left hand to the body there from Sanchez, and a short left as ZAINULABIDOV is closing in. Well, we may well see some more split scoring in this second round, I think. It's a distinct possibility anyway.
Y no quiero que me lo case. ¿Listo? No me haga el cambio de guardia. El tipo viene.
10-9 across the board for ZAINULABIDOV, so he's got a clear advantage there with 3 of the cards. 2 rounds to 0 up on 3 cards. Level on the other 2.
El día es hoy, no hay mañana, el día es hoy. Vamos, párese, usted está preparado para esto. Usted sí está preparado para esta vuelta. Haga, bueno, inteligente. Usted está para esta vuelta.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
So third and final round, Mikail ZAINULABIDOV of Russia, European youth champion in the red. Carlos Santiago Sanchez Moreno of Colombia in the blue. And he's got it all to do, the Colombian, in this final round, because ZAINULABIDOV is 2 rounds up on 3 of the cards, the other 2 even. So Sanchez Moreno has got to make sure he wins this round, and he's going to need to win it big too, because he'll have to score a 10-8 with one of those 3 judges who's currently got him 2 rounds down. Long right hand there from ZAINULABIDOV. Just disturbed the features of Sanchez. And the Colombian just pouring everything into this that he possibly can at the minute. It's been fought at a really good pace, this, from the very beginning. It's been hot. Sanchez looking for the body, lovely uppercut on the inside there. And he's putting ZAINULABIDOV under some pressure here close up. That's a good spell for him. Again, the uppercut there, this time from ZAINULABIDOV with the right hand. These two just staying right on top of each other until the very end. tried to come over the top with the right hand there, Sanchez, and ZAINULABIDOV just slipped to his left-hand side, let it whistle past him, and then replied with a left to the body. Smart bit of boxing. Good fight. As I said, good competitive fight all the way through. ZAINULABIDOV is going to win it because he had a 2-point advantage on 3 of the cards heading into that third and final round, and there's no way that Sanchez has been able to turn things around to the extent that he needed to, because he needed a very dominant round in that final round. Not just to win it, he needed to win it big.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner of bout number 163 in Ring B, win by points with the unanimous decision. From the red corner, Mikail, ZAINULABIDOV, Russia.
ZAINULABIDOV gets it by unanimous decision. And split scoring again in round 3. Rounds 1 and round 3, we had split scoring. Round 2, ZAINULABIDOV got it with all 5 judges. And that just shows how close that was. 29-28. 2 rounds to 1. All 5 of our officials at ringside.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the bout number 164, men's welterweight in the Ring B. Please into the red corner from Estonia, Matvei, STARIKOV.
Matvei STARIKOV of Estonia making his way to the red corner.
And please to the blue corner his opponent from Iran, Amirreza, SHEKARI.
And boxing out of the blue corner for Iran will be Amirreza, SHEKARI. Whoever wins this will face ZAINULABIDOV, who we've just seen in the next round.
And the judges of this bout, Latvia, Mongolia, Uzbekistan, Russia, and Sri Lanka. And the referee from Bulgaria, Maria Kavakieva.
How do you know that?
It's possible this more little to make.
Okay.
Okay, turn around.
Brought a team of 7. Iran, Estonia, 5 boxers.
Head up, not holding, not low ball. Listen my command.
So Starikov of Estonia in the red on the right of your screen there. On the left, Amirreza SHEKARI of Iran.
Round one.
Still in the light welterweight division here, 64 kilos. He's got a good deal of height on reach on Starikov here, SHEKARI. Be interesting to see whether he uses it or not. Something that's been a little bit of a feature of Ring B at times over the first few days. His taller fighters not really making the most of those natural advantages. It looks like he might though, SHEKARI. Starikov will have to get close to get his work done, of course. He'll need to get onto the inside. Is he going to work his way onto the inside, try and set it up with a jab, use that head movement, slip and roll his way onto the inside, or is he going to spring in from range, which you've seen a number of people attempt? Jab there from SHEKARI. Didn't make full contact. Right hand on the inside. And Starikov, same kind of story. Midway through the first round. That's a nice combination from Starikov as SHEKARI came forward. Just backing up there, SHEKARI. Good left hand on the inside there from Starikov. Caught SHEKARI a bit square. The weight was in his heels a touch, so his balance wasn't great. Haven't seen him use that jab as much as we probably should have, SHEKARI, given the height that he's got on him. He likes to throw that right hand. Good example there. Throwing a single right hand. Doesn't generally set it up with the jab, though. That was a bit naughty. The instruction had come in to stop boxing. On a few seconds of round one, Starikov launches a big one over the top with his right hand. Kind of half made it. Wasn't a huge amount of clean shots landed in that round. SHEKARI gets it with all 5 of the judges at ringside. He was the busier of the two.
Seconds out, please. Round two.
So into the second. Amirreza SHEKARI of Iran in the blue swept the board with the judges in the first round, 10-9s from all 5 officials at ringside. In the red is Matvei Starikov of Estonia. Just using the jab there, SHEKARI. A great potency on it though. Starikov just moves in. And that time rather rushed his man back towards the ropes. STARIKOV trying to let his hands go on the inside. SHEKARI answering back with a left hand. SHEKARI just trying to pursue STARIKOV towards the red corner. STARIKOV coming forward a little bit recklessly that time, but did score, landed a couple to the body. Jab from SHEKARI. Flicks with the jab, doesn't really put too much on it. 1-2 just fell short there for the Iranian. Nice left hand there from STARIKOV. SHEKARI just walked in a bit there, threw the right hand. It didn't reach, and STARIKOV was able to counter. When he's got onto the inside, STARIKOV, the main problem he's had is that he's got too close, because he does have to get up close to do his own work, really. But when he's got up there, just like there, he shuts down the space. He's right on top of SHEKARI. He's too much on top of him, and he just hasn't got room to get those arms free most of the time. And SHEKARI takes it again, so he is very well set up now, 2-0, up with all 5 judges. And he's just had the better of it over the course of the 2 rounds. STARIKOV has not been out of it. He has had some success, but SHEKARI has just been able to better him. He's used that reach advantage at times. Flicking out that jab just keeps STARIKOV busy.
Hands out, please.
That was better from STARIKOV as he closed the gap down there.
Third round.
So into the 3rd and final round, SHEKARI in the blue, boxing for Iran, is on the brink of making it through to the next round here. Long right hand there from SHEKARI. STARIKOV taking the weight back, so it didn't have too much of an impact by the time it landed. Just fencing with the jab again there. SHEKARI steps in trying to look for the right hand, but STARIKOV had come forward as well. Left hand from SHEKARI. STARIKOV just finishing that combination on the left hand. And again there, just the left. clipping SHEKARI slightly, brought applause from the Estonian corner. Into the final minute of round 3, and it's SHEKARI who's going to run out the winner here. We know that because he's 2 points clear on all of the cards heading into the third and final round. So STARIKOV needed a big, big round win. And that is not what has happened. The Estonian has put everything into this. I think this is the kind of fight that he'll learn a lot from. He's worked hard to get onto the inside, but when he has got there, it's never really been set. It's been difficult for him to really get too much done. He rushes in there, for example, lands a short right to the body, and then it's pretty much over because they're right up against each other. They fall into a clinch, and eventually the referee has to get in and order them to break. That was better, just slipped underneath the right hand and looked to find the body. So there we have it, a raise of the right glove from Amirreza SHEKARI, and that's not premature. He will be going through to the next round, where he will face ZAINULABIDOV of Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, in about 164 in the ring B, win by points with unanimous decision. From the blue corner, Amirreza SHEKARI.
So there we go, SHEKARI gets it. One judge going STARIKOV's way in that final round. The Mongolian official at ringside gave him that round. That was the only round he got on all 5 of the cards over the course of the 3 rounds. It wasn't completely outdone, though. It was just one of those contests where SHEKARI just had a bit more than him in all departments, really. And that's why he's won that with something to spare.
And now we have about number 165 in the ring B, men's Welter weight. Please into the red corner from Romania, Andrei MUSTET.
Our next fight at light welter, this is Romania's Andrei MUSTET. Boxing out of the red corner.
And his opponent, please into the blue corner from Denmark, Ilias, NASEER.
And that's Ilias NASEER of Denmark.
And the judges of this bout, Poland, Ireland, Guatemala, Jordan, and Mongolia, and the referee from Turkey, Mr. Yesar Sina.
So MUSTET of Romania in the red, NASEER of Denmark in the blue. Yasser Sina of Turkey in charge of this one.
Round one.
Two orthodox fighters. NASEER just first to get off with the jab there. Just trying to fake with the front foot there, MUSTET. See if he can draw something from NASEER. Quite cagey opening to this one. Both just on the edge of range there, trying to see if they can draw something from the other, seeing if the other will commit and leave them with any kind of an opening. Keep for the left hand there, MUSTET. Made contact, but not on the scoring area. That's the torso and the front of the head. Knuckle part of the glove needs to deliver the punch. If that happens, then the judges will count it, essentially. We'll take it into account. Just flicks that lead left hand up every now and again. MUSTET. NASEER came over the top with the right hand there and landed it. Short right hand on the inside from MUSTET was the decent shot. Probably the best of the round so far into the final minute. Missed with the right hand there, MUSTET, but as is often the case, left him in the perfect position to come back with a left. Shot to the body there, though, from NASEER. Little poking jab also got through. Right hand from NASEER. Nothing heavy or particularly solid about those punches, but they're landing. It's been MUSTET who's been on the front foot. MUSTET who's been the more dynamic, the more proactive of the two. In terms of what was landed, there wasn't very much in it at all. And MUSTET, by virtue of his proactivity, may come out on the right side of this in terms of the scores. Let's have a look. And he does 10-9 across the board there for the judges. It's a good jab right hand that from NASEER. Right hand comes back there though from MUSTET. And as I said, in terms of what landed in that round, that was tight.
Round two.
But the look of it, and I've spoken about this before, the look of it was that MUSTET's on the front foot. He's the one trying to make the running. He's the one kind of in control. Good start to the round there though from NASEER. A couple of snappy punches, particularly the left hand. He just saw the sweat spray off the head there of MUSTET. He's got himself a lead though after the opening round, and dropping the first round in AIBA boxing in 3-round contests is difficult. It gives you a mountain to climb And NASEER will feel like he has to be more expansive in this second round. They don't have to go out looking for MUSTET more. Stylistically, I'm not totally convinced that will suit him. It might leave MUSTET some more gaps to exploit. Looking for the right hand over the top there, NASEER. Left to the body from MUSTET. Right hand from NASEER. Made contact with the side of the head. Chopping down right hand there from NASEER. MUSTET just about reaching with the right hand to the body, goes upstairs, but the gloves pretty much block most of that. A similar story this second round to the first. NASEER, I think, has got through with some slightly stiffer blows, though, than he did in the opening round. And he needs this round, the fighter in blue, representing Denmark, to try and even things up going into the third. Right to the body there from MUSTET. And again, another right followed by left. Right hand over the top there from NASEER. That landed. One-two there from NASEER towards the trail end of the round here. And then a right hand in on the angle. And as I was saying, it's got the same look about it, the fight this second round. It's MUSTET on the front foot, driving the action. NASEER, they did some good work in that round. I think some more eye-catching punching than he did in the first. He needs this round on the scorecards. And he gets it. He gets it. 10-9s with 4 of the judges. So those 4 cards tied up at 19 apiece. Down at the bottom there, MUSTET has got a 2-point advantage. And NASEER did just up it a little bit in that round in terms of the amount of power he was attempting to put on his punches. So they were just that little bit more eye-catching. Snaps the head back there. I don't think he necessarily landed all that much more than he did in the first, but just a slightly better quality of shot. Easier for the judges to see, really, when you see a head jerk back from a jab.
Third round.
So this very well set up. MUSTET has got that 2-point advantage on one card, but the other 4 dead level. So the slightly bigger job here for NASEER. He needs to convert 3 of those 4. MUSTET needs 2 of them. Lead right hand there, followed by the jab from NASEER. And again, that did land. MUSTET will roll forward in this round, as he has done in the first 2. Long right hand from MUSTET, got through. NASEER comes back, or attempts to. Left hand to the body there from MUSTET. Right hand on the inside there from NASEER was a good shot. He just took half a step back and timed MUSTET on the way in. Just short with the right hand there, NASEER. Right to the body from MUSTET, heading up towards the midway point of round 3. And again, this is tight. There is very little in this final round at the moment. Just leading off the hook there, NASEER. He was some distance short with that one. The jab, though, just snuck through the guard. MUSTET up close with a right hand to the body, I think. Sneaky little combination on the inside from NASEER, then a short left hand. Jab though from MUSTET, heading up towards the final minute. I wonder, will we see one of these two really trying up the tempo? You'd imagine so. I'd have thought that would come from MUSTET. I think NASEER just kind of boxes how he boxes. I don't think it would really suit him to try and up the pace. He's got a nice rhythm about him. He just needs to trust in what he's doing, I think. As I said, this is still very, very tight. At this stage, if I had to go one way or the other, I might just about veer with NASEER again. Like the second round, I think he's just done the slightly crisper work of the two, has found the target a bit more often. But not much separating them at all. And although it's never really exploded, this fight, it's been boxed at a good tempo all the way through. NASEER looking for the body. MUSTET still coming forward there. Final few seconds. And I wouldn't like to say which way this one will go. We know that MUSTET's got one card in his pocket because he was 2 points up with the one judge going into the final round. But the other 4 cards were level, so he needs 2 of them. NASEER needs 3 of them. As we look at the replays, it kind of illustrates how that round played out. It's very tight. Personally, I might just go with NASEER. But that's a real close fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, in bout number 165 in the ring B, win by points with split decision from the red corner, Andrei MUSTET Romania.
So MUSTET gets it. (29-28) and 30-27, a 4-1 split. And on those level cards, he got 3. He got 3 out of 4, so that's proved to be the difference for him. Sadie Duffy going NASEER's way in that final round. There was very little between them in that final round, very little between them in the whole fight. It was a question really of similar dynamic to a fight we had earlier on. You've got one fighter on the front foot. You've got the other who's more boxing off the back foot. I felt that NASEER overall probably did the slightly better punching, maybe landed just a little bit more, but MUSTET was proactive. As I said, he was the one looking to really kind of make the fight, and when there's very little difference in terms of what lands, then judges often like the fighter who is doing that. So I think that's maybe how that went the way that it went. But as I said, very, very close fight.
Now we have the bout number 166 in the ring B, men's welterweight, 64 kg. Please into the red corner from Czech Republic, Erik, SUCHY.
So on we go. Red corner this time, Erik SUCHY of the Czech Republic. And he's another fighter I've heard good reports about.
And please into the blue corner his opponent from Finland, Jari Niemelainen.
And boxing for Finland in the blue corner, Jari Niemelainen. Little wink for the camera. It's a great stage for the fighters, this. Great setup, just emerging from that archway. Shame there are no spectators, of course, but we've been saying that for a long time now.
And the judges of this bout, Slovakia, Israel, Korea, Sri Lanka and Azerbaijan, and the referee from Ireland, Davi Sadi.
So that's Niemelainen of Finland in the blue corner. Over in the red corner, boxing for the Czech Republic, is Erik SUCHY. Rattling through these fights at light welterweight.
Round one.
So two orthodox fighters here, and Niemelainen didn't waste any time there, just stepped in and looked to try and rattle off the left to the body. Shaping with the right hand there, Niemelainen, and again looked for the left, but it was blocked by the glove of SUCHY. Right to the body from Niemelainen. Nice quick punch. Nice right hand there, well timed by SUCHY. Niemelainen was moving in and he just caught him. Went over the top of the jab. One-two from SUCHY, just slipped over the shoulder there of Niemelainen, who aims a big swinging wide right hand, which SUCHY saw coming from a way back. SUCHY trying to jab his way in there as Niemelainen was backed up to the ropes, but the Finnish fighter did well there, adroitly just moving to his left-hand side. SUCHY, for a tall, long-limbed, rangy fighter, does do what you would expect him to do. He does look to try and jab his way and set up the right hand with that jab. But there's a lot of movement. Maybe a little bit too much movement. Possibly for both of these. They're not really set when they throw. It's a pretty common characteristic of amateur boxing, but I think SUCHY in particular, if he moved in just a little bit more smoothly with that jab right hand, I think he'd have a better chance of hitting something. He doesn't necessarily need to land that jab to the head. He just needs to hit something. If he hits a shoulder, chest, whatever it is, then it'll just take Niemelainen off balance, slow him down, make it more likely that he'll land that right hand. Good right hand to the body there from Niemelainen. And again, stepped off to his left and kind of threw it straight down the middle. Nice combination there from the Finn as well. Final few seconds of the round and he's finishing strong here. Split scores, SUCHY getting it with Slovakia, Israel and Azerbaijan, and Korea and Sri Lanka going for Niemelainen, and that's a fair reflection of how that went, really, because there wasn't really any defining action of that round, I wouldn't say. Niemelainen with a good finish. I think that could well be what got it for him with those two judges. SUCHY just flattered to deceive a bit. Threw plenty of jabs, threw plenty of right hands, looks nice and loose, but didn't really land a lot.
Round 2.
Shot with the right hand there, Niemelainen, and then he knew it, so he just kept going. When that happens, I've said this over the course of the last few days, that right hand, if you fall short with it, what you can't have happen is you just then get stuck in no man's land. Well, good right hand there from SUCHY. That was a real good shot. Then you saw the backward stagger step there from Niemelainen. He was coming in as well, you see, opening out to throw his own punch and walked straight onto it. Or rather, SUCHY brought him onto it, would be another way of looking at it. Best punch of the fight so far. Swapping right hand, SUCHY has got the stiffer one. Niemelainen just working his way in there. Jab, right hand again. His balance was off as he came in. Looking for left hand there, Niemelainen. The first one landed on the gloves. The second one didn't miss by a lot. And again, it's the final minute of the round. Niemelainen's looking to try and up things a bit here. He had a strong finish to the first round. Maybe this is a deliberate tactic that he wants to try and put his stamp on things in the closing stages of the round, particularly in a round where not a great deal has happened. And this has been another one of them. I'd say SUCHY has done the more effective punching so far, courtesy of a couple of just good, strong right hands, particularly the one that knocked Niemelainen onto his heels. That was an eye-catching punch. They are low, those stools. It's quite a long way to go down. So SUCHY gets it 10-9 on 4 of the judges' cards there. And that gives him that 2-point margin with 3 of them. Korean judge has got it level. The other one has got Niemelainen a couple up. So SUCHY very much in the driving seat here. Niemelainen's got to win this last round and win it big, really big, to turn things around. That was a SUCHY round, I felt.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
So third and final round here in this light welterweight bout between Jere Niemelainen of Finland in the blue, Erik SUCHY of the Czech Republic in the red, and it's SUCHY, as I said, who's in control here really, due to the fact that he's a couple of points up on 3 cards heading into this final round, and he just needs to avoid losing on any of those cards 10-8, and he's through to the next round where he would face MUSTET Andrei MUSTET of Romania, who we just saw squeeze through against NASEER. Bit tentative with the jab there, SUCHY. He throws plenty, SUCHY. As I said earlier on, I think it might be helpful if he just slowed those feet down a bit, set them a bit more when he does throw, because there's not really much on a lot of these punches. Nothing particularly fatal about that in international amateur boxing, but he does miss a lot, and I think that's because he doesn't really have that kind of solid base to punch from a lot of the time. It's not particularly energy sapping because he's not loading up with them when he throws them, so if he misses, it's not a big deal. It's volume. He's kind of throwing handfuls of rice here, and some of the grains will land, some of them will hit, some of them won't. That's a good shot, though. Flicked that up from the waist right into the pit of the stomach there was really, really good. And actually, that's what I was talking about. He just set his feet there. You could see him set his feet. He was nice and solid when he threw that and got good power on it. Big right hand aimed there by Niemelainen. Shoelaces come undone there for SUCHY. So these to get a little bit of a breather. Not long remaining in this one now. And it's the man whose left foot is inside that boot who is going to place both feet into the next round. There goes the bell. So Erik SUCHY of the Czech Republic in a red there. He will advance to the next stage because he was 2 points up on 3 cards going into that final round, and he just needed to avoid a heavy round defeat, which he most certainly has done.
Ladies and gentlemen, in about 166 in the ring B, who win by points with split decision from the red corner, Erik SUCHY, Czech Republic.
SUCHY gets it from the Czech Republic, split decision. And the Sri Lankan judge there going the way of his opponent, Niemelainen, the other 4 finding in his favour. 10-9s. For SUCHY across the board there. So 3 scores of 3 rounds to 0, 1 of 2 rounds to 1 for him. And that other one 2 rounds to 1 for Niemelainen.
Now we have the bout number 167. 64 kilogram men's in the ring B. Please into the red corner from Ukraine. Bozorboi, MATYAKUBOV.
So 2 more fights in the light welterweight division. Heading for the red corner here is Bozorboi MATYAKUBOV. Boxing for the Ukraine, Uzbek-born. And he comes with a good reputation.
And please to the blue corner, his opponent from Fiji, Callum Matthews.
Callum Matthews, the only team member for Eswatini, boxing out of the blue corner.
The judges of this bout: Armenia, Poland, Mongolia, Latvia, and Uzbekistan, and the referee from Bulgaria, Maria Kavakieva.
MATYAKUBOV of Ukraine in the red, and Matthews of Eswatini in the blue. Eswatini still known in a lot of places, in English-speaking countries anyway, as Swaziland. But you see the lettering on the back of his vest there is ESW, so I will stick with Eswatini.
Not logo. Listen my command. Shake hands and good luck.
Round 1.
So bell goes at the start of the first. A couple of good jabs there, early doors from MATYAKUBOV, and he's caught Matthews a couple of times already. Another jab just planted squarely into the face of Matthews, who's got a kind of tense, rather startled look about him. Just needs to kind of feel his way into this fight if he can. Comes forward there, does well, just drops his height, flexing the knees and throws a right hand into the body.
Blue not holding. Blue not holding. Stop!
Looking for the right hand off the back of the jab there. MATYAKUBOV didn't quite get it. Good hands on the inside there from the Ukrainian. Right to the body again there from Matthews. He's settled down a bit. He's getting caught there by the left hand, but early on I did fear for him that first 10-15 seconds because he was just standing right in front of MATYAKUBOV, offering up his chin, and MATYAKUBOV was hitting him on it with relish. Left hand there from MATYAKUBOV, though, that catches Matthews clean and he gets a standing count. He's not that impressed with it, but it was a good solid blow. I can see why the referee did that. He does tend to lead with his chin a bit, to say the least, Matthews. He's certainly not afraid to engage, but he's got that wide stance. He kind of leans in with the head, but also goes in with the chin high, and MATYAKUBOV, who is a quality operator, is finding it pretty regularly in this opening round. Nice 1-2 there. I think the referee could easily have jumped in there, and she does this time. That's another standing count. He's brave here, Matthews, but I'm afraid he's a bit out of his depth. Nice crisp 1-2 again there from Matyakubov. You can't really miss him at the moment. He's trying to fight back, Matthews, and give him credit for that. Good right-hander once again. And he's just following him around the ring here, the Ukrainian. There's nowhere for Matthews to go, nowhere at all. That ring is a small place when you're on the receiving end, and that's what he's finding here. Trapped back in the corner. Did well, actually, there, just to almost manoeuvre his way out of it. Final few seconds of round one. Stiff right hand again. Well, a couple landed right on the bell, maybe just fractionally after the end of that first 3 minutes. And a couple of standing counts there for Callum Matthews. And I think I just heard in the corner there, the Eswatini corner, telling him that he's not using his jab, and that's true, but there's all sorts of things that aren't going his way. They need to be careful with him here, because a 10-7, you don't see many 10-7s, you really don't. I wouldn't argue with it, though. It was a definite 10-8, a 10-8 all day long. And there's a 10-7 from Vardan Bagdasaryan. And as I was just saying, the Eswatini corner, they need to be careful with him here, because I think one more standing count and the referee will probably stop this anyway, but...
Seconds out, please.
I'm not entirely sure that he's learning all that much from this, because he's just in with somebody who is a lot better than him. Tried to jab, the corner did ask for the jab. Left followed by the right there. And again, those are solid, solid punches. Another standing count from the referee. And what will she do when she gets to 8 here? And she's allowing it to continue. Again, just caught clean. He's getting caught clean all the time here. He's taking them well, Matthews. He's brave, he's got a solid chin, but it is pretty painful to watch now, to be honest. Matyakubov just shrugs him off and again just pins him with the right hand. Goes to the body this time. And the referee gives another standing count and she waves it over, and that's the right thing to do, because Callum Matthews was getting a beating. That's the only way to describe it. Gets a pat on the back from the trainer there. And there's nothing to be ashamed of there for Matthews, nothing at all. He's come to the Youth World Championships. This is a very, very high standard, and he's not had a great deal of luck with the draw there, getting Matyakubov first up. He was a quality operator. He got hit with a lot. He never got put down, had some standing counts, and he was always throwing back. There is absolutely nothing wrong with his fighting spirit. Nothing whatsoever. But I'm glad that came to an end when it did.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the results of the bout number 167 in the ring B, win by RSC in the second round. From the red corner, Bozorboi, Matyakubov, Ukraine.
So the Uzbek-born Ukrainian, Matyakubov, said he came with a good reputation, and he showed us something there. Very accurate. Good bit of pop on his punches. It is fair to say that he was up against an opponent there who couldn't live with him. But he got the job done, and he got it done in good style. He didn't rush anything. He didn't go too gung-ho, get overexcited, looked to load up and go for a spectacular knockout. He just took care of business. So one more fight, one more to go in the light welterweight division. That will be between Krasimir Zhurov of Bulgaria, who we saw yesterday, or the day before, beating Stefan Wozniakowski of Moldova by unanimous decision, the European junior champion. He's up against Colin Kenny of Scotland. Scotland, the only one of the United Kingdom nations to send a team to this World Youth Championships. Wales, England and Ireland decided against it. They made that decision earlier in the year, as did other countries, because the current state of the world, it's very difficult to predict with any certainty what's going to happen back in January, February time. I think some countries looked ahead to this competition, these championships, and had understandable doubts as to whether this would happen, as to whether COVID would intervene again and mean that this was a non-starter, and they decided that rather than get athletes starting to train towards these dates, they would make the decision that they wouldn't be coming. It's completely understandable. Unfortunate, because they would all love to be here. As I said, the Polish Boxing Association and AIBA have done a pretty amazing job, to be honest, to get this competition on. The amount of organisation that needs to go into these things to provide these COVID-secure environments, these bubbles, is mind-boggling, really.
So we have at about number 168 in the ring B, 64 kilogram for men. Please into the red corner from Bulgaria, Yurov.
So here's the aforementioned Krasimir Yurov, who we saw with that win against Stefan Wozniakowski, former European junior champion. Looked pretty good the other day.
And please his opponent into the blue corner from Scotland, Colin Carney.
And up against Colin Carney of Scotland. Two-man team for Scotland.
Korea, Jordan, Turkey, Guatemala, Poland, and the referee from Latvia, Leonidas Anevi.
So that's Yurov getting that head guard strapped on. Carney of Scotland over in the blue corner.
Don't shoot.
Turned 18, Carney, not long ago. Yurov.
Round one.
Still 17, so Yurov of Bulgaria in the red. He's a southpaw, Carney of Scotland in the blue. The age range for this competition, 17 to 19. Carney, tall, quite slender. He's certainly got the reach on Yurov here. Let's see if he can use it. Looking for the right hand there, Carney, too far out. Same could be said of Yurov there as he looked for his left down the middle. I don't think that quite got there either. Look at the gap between them here. Neither one of them wanting to take that space at the moment. Comes in with the right hand there, Carney. Yurov came back with his lead hand, which is his right hand. I think just dabbed the features of Carney there. Plenty of shaping. And for the first time, really, Yurov just stepped into that no man's land and did commit. Just trying to jab his way in there, Kearney. Let go with the right hand. Neither one of these two has quite found their range, as I've been saying, midway through round one. And as a result, no one's really landed anything. Left hand there from Zhurov. He moved in behind that, but Kearney took his feet back, and a similar kind of story. Zhurov looking for the counter there, got through with the left hand, I think. Kearney with a right. Right to the body there for Kearney was a decent shot. It's Kearney who's taken the centre of the ring for the most part. Zhurov made to miss with the left there. Kearney just took a step to his right, tried to clip Zhurov as he was on the way past, didn't quite manage it. Right hand on the inside there from Zhurov. Heavy looking left hand there from Zhurov, made contact with the side of the head. I'm not absolutely sure if he delivered that one with the knuckles though. Final 10 seconds of round one. Jab there from Zhurov, looked decent. Not much to go on in this opening round, not much at all in terms of clean punches landed. Maybe Zhurov just snuck in a couple more there than Kearney. The judges certainly think so. 10-9 across the board for the Bulgarian. Just heard the Scottish corner telling Kearney that he needs to slow things down, and I would make them right. I think Zhurov just managed to land a couple of better punches because he was just a little bit more settled. A lot of movement there from Kearney. He looks a good boxer, looks a good fighter, landed some good right hands to the body. There was very little in that round, as I said. I would have just shaded Zhurov, but not much in it at all.
Second round.
Looking for that right hand. Kearney didn't quite get there, followed up, looked for it again, and once again fell just short. Zhurov, I think, just snuck in a left hand as the Scot was coming forward. Good bit of defensive work there from Kearney, just leant back, avoided the left hand, tried to return fire with the right. Didn't quite land it, made his opponent miss there, couldn't quite make him pay. Trying to move in behind the jab there, Kearney moved in a bit too quickly, was right on top of Zhurov, didn't have room to use that right hand. Zhurov looking for the left. Heads almost cracking together on the inside there. Right hand to the chest there, I think, landed for Kearney amidst all of that. There was plenty going on, but not a great deal of accurate punching. Nice right hand counter there from Kearney. That was well delivered. I think he just got that left hand up, though, Zhurov. It was a good bit of boxing from the Scot because he took a step off to the side as Zhurov came in on him, looked to try and time him on the way past and did that, but I think the defence was just about intact. And the second round has been very similar to the first. Almost caught him with the uppercut there, Kearney, as Zhurov fell in again, and that's what the corner are asking for from him. And Zhurov just bringing the head in a little bit low there, maybe. When he commits, he really commits, Zhurov. There is the potential here for Kearney picking him off as he flies forward. He's almost done it a couple of times, and if he could do that and land something solid, then that could be enough in this round, because there's not much in these. There wasn't in the first, there isn't in the second. So that goes the bell at the end of the second, and the scoring of this is critical because, as we know, the first round went in favour of Zhurov. Kearney needs his second round. If he doesn't get it, then he's got a big mountain to climb in that third round. So let's have a look. Well, split scoring. One judge in favour of Kearney, so that card a draw. Guatemalan judge, Korea, Jordan, Turkey. We'll have it 2-0 in favour of the man in red there, which is Krasimir Zhurov. A bit of a messy fight overall, really.
Third round.
So third and final round. This is our final light welterweight contest of this evening session here in Kielce at the 2021 AIBA Youth Men's and Women's World Championships. Right hand to the body there from Kearney. Zhurov came back with a left. Zhurov just coming in with that left hand. He does come in square when he closes the distance, Zhurov. It's just a question of whether you can do something about that. Kearney at times has looked close to being able to do it. Left hand from Zhurov, big left hand there. The second one was a very solid shot. Kearney pushed back into the ropes right above me. I could see his head snap back. That really did make good contact, but he's taking it well. Zhurov's generally looked for that left hand throughout the course of the fight. And this final round has seen some real success with it. Right hand to the body there from Kearney. Right hand to the body from Kearney. He stepped in and thrown that a few times. He landed it well in the first round a couple of times. So into the last minute. Point being taken from both of them, actually. That's fair enough. When he took the point from Kearney there and explained that it was because he didn't heed the instruction to stop boxing, it did strike me as being slightly strange that he would take the point from Kearney and not from Zhurov, but he's even the score there, the referee, so that's an understandable bit of work by him. Right to the body again there from Kearney. I think Kearney will look back on this and find it slightly frustrating. If he watches it back, he'll see that he was close to timing him on the way in there, Zhurov. On a number of occasions, he just couldn't quite do it. He knew what he wanted to try and do, because Zhurov comes forward, he springs forward quickly, he comes quite square when he looks to throw that left hand, and it's all about that left hand. If you make him fall short or can kind of step to the side and catch him on the way, and like he did there, and that right hand to the body. But Zhurov has got his method, and it's an effective one, and it's a difficult one to negate.
In the bout number 168 in the ring B. Win on points with unanimous decision from the red corner, Kashmir Zhurov, Bulgaria.
So he gets it, Zhurov, unanimous decision. Those scores have that look because of those points that came off. Nines for Zhurov again in round 3. So he goes through to the next round where he will face MATYAKUBOV, who we saw stop Callum Matthews. Now we'll head into the middleweight division, 75 kilos, the men's middleweight division. Look at the backstage area. A few fights still to come, and it's not just fighters.
Bout number 169 in the ring B, in the middleweight division, men's. Please into the red corner from Hungary, Bendegus Shigedvari.
So on with our middleweight fights, and representing Hungary, boxing out of the red corner here, Bendegus Shigedvari. What I was just going to say there is that backstage you don't just have fighters who are fighting today, you have fighters who are just keeping a bit of weight off, which was what that gentleman skipping there was doing. You could see the sweatsuit underneath his hooded top. You've got to stay on weight all the way through the tournament in amateur boxing.
Slovakia, Dejan Leburic.
And boxing for Slovenia is Dejan Leburic. He's the only member of the Slovenian team.
Judges of this bout: Sri Lanka, Slovakia, Israel, Azerbaijan, and Korea, and the referee from Uzbekistan, Mr. Alexander Kamidov.
Ladies and gentlemen, bout number 155 UK. Men's middle, 75 kg. Into the red corner, please welcome boxer, representing Kazakhstan, Ilias.
they're busy, these officials, in the first few days of these competitions. No sooner do they retreat to the referees and judges' room backstage than they're back out again. So Bendiguz Shigetvari of Hungary in the red, Dejan Lebric of Slovenia in the blue.
Round one.
Shigetvari coming out in the southpaw stance there in the red. As I said, boxing for Hungary. And Lebric of Slovenia in the blue in the orthodox stance. Lot of movement there from Lebric. Shigetvari a more solid base, just a touch more composed, I think. Those left hands looked a bit low on the inside. The referee had a good view, but chose not to say anything. Lebric looking for the right hand there. He's just settled a bit. He was flying all over the place that first 10, 20 seconds. And he's still very up on his toes a lot of the time, but as I said, just taking the edge off that kind of skittishness. Looking for the jab. Lebric, Shigetvari just planting those feet, looking to try and work the hands on the inside. The guard was pretty much in place there, though, for Lebric. Left hand got through there, though, from Shigetvari. And Shigetvari's taking the centre of the ring here, trying to dictate terms, trying to establish the rhythm of the fight. Couple of good shots there from Lebric, just cupping the side of the head of Shigetvari. Left hand from Shigetvari. Got through. Nice jab there from Lebric over on the far side of the ring. 40-odd seconds left in round one. Good combination there from Lebric towards the end of the round. As I said, the dynamic here has been that Shigetvari's been on the front foot, trying to force the issue. Loads of movement from Lebric. It's a tiring way to fight, but in terms of clean punching, which, as I keep stressing, is what the judges, the 5 scoring judges at ringside, are looking for, there wasn't a great deal to choose between them. And split scores, I'm not surprised by that. Sri Lanka, Slovakia, Korea all going for Shigetvari, Israel and Azerbaijan in favour of Lebric. Shigetvari finding Lebric a difficult man to pin down. As I said, there's plenty of movement there.
Seconds out, please. Round two.
Right hand there from Lebric. He's in the blue, representing Slovenia. SHEKARI of Hungary, the southpaw in red. Leading off with the right hand there, SHEKARI. Didn't get through with a right hand on the inside there, up on the ropes. Just over to my right hand side. Nice little pirouette, pivot on his front foot there from SHEKARI. Just spun off the ropes. He's short with the jab there, SHEKARI. He came back with a right hand, Lebric, and could have made him pay for that, but he was short with it himself. Right hand from SHEKARI, kind of smearing right hand. Did land. Very similar to the first round, this. It's the kind of matador in the ball, only thing is that the ball's wearing red. SHEKARI trying to hunt Lebric down. It's not an easy thing to do. Good left hand on the inside there, though, from SHEKARI. He's trying to cut the ring off on him. Launches into a lead. Right hand, left hand comes back from Lebric. Little pecking jab there from SHEKARI. Did that about a minute ago. The feet come really close together. He throws that jab and he's completely off balance. If he's short with it, then he's got a problem there, but he just made it with that one. Catches the left hand on the way in there, SHEKARI. Just trying to rush Lebric, as he has done all throughout the fight. Left to the body. Nice left hand on the inside too from SHEKARI. When he gets up tight and close like that, he can do some good work. He just finds a little bit of space. Jab just bounces off the forehead there of SHEKARI. Good left hand there from Lebric. Final few seconds of round two, and that's another tight one. Split scoring in round one. I didn't see a great deal of difference between round one and round two, if I'm honest. Let's have a look. Well, it was very, very close. Split scoring again there. Sri Lanka going 10-9, so 19 apiece with Sri Lanka and Israel and Azerbaijan, and it's very much in the balance then heading into the final round, and that's about right because it's, as I said, it's been very evenly contested. This, a lot of industry from both of these two. They're certainly trying everything they can to land on their opponent, but they've both just found it a difficult thing to do for varying reasons, I think, really. Lebric with a lot of movement, and SHEKARI has just kind of struggled to track him down. And Lebric, because he's moving all the time, just hasn't really had that kind of solid base to punch from when he does let his punches go. The vast majority of them are missing. SHEKARI just marauds forward there, looking to try and work on the inside. Lebric just sensed that he could be in a spot of trouble. Came back with a right hand. That was good from Lebric, through the left hand. Didn't land with it, but just rolled away. Right to the body from Lebric. Nice 1-2 there from SHEKARI. Just got him pinned in the corner a bit there, Lebric. Lebric leaning in. SHEKARI just took a little step back, found a bit of room. Worked those hands on the inside. Strong right hand there from Leverich as he was being put onto the back foot. He did catch a couple on the ropes though. And SHEKARI just looked to step to him again, nearly midway through round 3. Left to the body there from SHEKARI. Just found the right kind of distance there. Off the back of that body shot to try and go up to the head. Referee just having a word with Leverich about trapping the arm there of SHEKARI. What neither of these needs at this point is to lose a point. Any kind of deduction, that could be absolutely heartbreaking for them if either one of them were to do that. It's been a clean fight. Alexander Kamadov's hardly had to get involved at all, but he did just have that quick word there. Left cross there from SHEKARI. He's got a good gas tank, Leverich, because it's tiring doing what he's doing. This constant movement up on your toes. Slowed his feet down there and looked to try and dig in with the right hand. Turns SHEKARI back towards the red corner. This fight nearing its conclusion. If somebody could provide a big finish here, then that can maybe be enough. Left hand just took SHEKARI off balance there as he looked to try and open out for a big haymaker. Straight left hand there from SHEKARI, trying to quicken up those feet. Another good left hand there from the Hungarian. And he is having a decent finish to the round here, and that could be important. I do think Leverich is maybe just beginning to feel this, just starting to gas a little bit. As I said, the way he fights is energy sapping, to say the least. And SHEKARI with a decent finish there, I think might just have done enough in that final round. We'll see. Just right towards the end of the round, Leverich maybe just began to slow down a bit. That was a good left hand from SHEKARI. He's got the more kind of economical style. You've got to be very, very fit to box the way that Leverich does. It is constant movement. He did have his own successes in that round, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, win by points with unanimous decision from the red corner, Vendegus SHEKARI, Hungary.
And SHEKARI gets it. Swept the board in that final round and turned those 3 cards that were level to his advantage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we start about number 117 in the ring B middleweight division. Please into the red corner from Cuba, Albert Gonzalez Monteagudo.
Into the red corner here, representing Cuba, Albert Gonzalez Monteagudo.
And his opponent, please, to the blue corner from Poland, Adrian Kimovic.
And a Polish fighter being ushered in by the tournament mascot. This is Adrian Timofejczuk.
And the judges of this bout, Guatemala, Armenia, Mongolia, Bulgaria, Ireland. And the referee from Russia, Mr. Sergei Krutasov.
Prawą stronę aktywną, lewa ręka postawę. Nie zakazał. Nie da się ustawiać. W linii prostej nie uciekać. Na boczki. I doły. Doły. Dużo tego szukać.
So Gonzalez of Cuba in the red there, Timofejczuk of Poland in the blue. It's another fight in the 75 kilo division.
Round one.
Gonzalez, the southpaw, just did a little kind of squat along the ropes there as he came out to his left-hand side. Timofejczuk shaping up as an orthodox fighter. Gonzalez just prowling on the borderline of range there, looking to try and raid in with that left hand to the body. Timofejczuk digs to the body with his right hand. The referee telling Timofejczuk to keep his head up there, I think. Lead hands just colliding. Just took a little step in there, Gonzalez. Didn't really commit. It's fairly tentative there too, as he let the left hand go to the body. Short with the jab there, Timofejczuk. Left to the body from Gonzalez, just trying to steal that half yard, get in, throw the punch, get back out. Timofejczuk's got long levers on him. As he stoops, he can find that right to the body. Left to the body again there for Gonzalez. And the referee was always going to have a word about that. He kind of had his right glove around the back of Timofejczuk's head, just trying to pull him onto the punch. Carries that lead hand low. Gonzalez looking to try and jab, but that's blocked by the left glove there of Timofejczuk, who throws his own jab. Again, that's short. Comes in behind the right hand. Doesn't land that either. Midway through round one. Looking for the left to the body again there, Gonzalez. That was blocked by the forearms. The Cuban again, just whipping that left hand to the body. And then just catching Timofejczuk, I think, with a short right hand as the Polish fighter came in. And Cuban landed 2-3 decent clean shots, and that's the difference between these two at the moment, you would say. Lead right uppercut there from Gonzalez was measured and well executed. The fighter coming in from the corner away to my right-hand side. Gonzalez just kind of nodded at them as we head into the final few seconds. Again, he looks out of the ring at the corner, and I'm not sure what's going on here because he should be concentrating on his opponent, surely. Timofejczuk falling short, and Gonzalez looking to try and clip him with the right hand. Bell goes. Back he goes to the corner. Little shake of the head there from Gonzalez. He doesn't look entirely happy. Timofejczuk just getting the air in the blue corner. The way he looked at the corner a couple of times, he looked out of the ring to the corner coaches. Slightly odd. staying on his feet in between rounds. He won that round. No doubt about that, so 10-9s for him.
Wiary w siebie.
Jedna nie dochodzi, to trzeba na 2-3 dojdzie. Rozumiesz? Raz nie doszło?
Seconds out, please.
To też tam, dół i na górę.
Round 2.
Left hand to the body again there from Gonzalez. That's worked well for him, and that was a nice combination too. Timofejic just falling short. The Cuban tempting him in, making him fall short, then countering. Bit of a tangle of the front feet there. You get that sometimes with the southpaw against an orthodox fighter. Timofejic ending up on the canvas, sportingly helped up by Gonzalez. Just got his feet in a bit closer there, Timofejic, and let the right hand go. He's been slightly tentative. He's looked for that jab right hand, but most of the time he's been short with it. A bit reluctant, I think, to really step in on Gonzalez. But he's got that reach. I think if he would just have a little bit more confidence in what he's doing. Easier said than done, I know, because these Cuban fighters come with a real aura, a real mystique about them. But he's got some natural advantages there, Timofejic, in the reach he possesses. Did try to make it count there with the jab, but Gonzalez again just managed to shift his feet back. Right hand there from Timofejic. I don't think landed all that hard because Gonzalez just took the weight back. Left hand there though from Timofejic did land, but a couple of body shots just rattled into the rib cage there from the Cuban, who's finding the gaps when he needs to here, without being all that expansive. Cheeky little right hand there from Gonzalez. Again, he looks out towards the coaches. I think that's just a habit he's got. Just to show them maybe that he's paying attention to what they're saying. Aiming a big overhand left there. Works the uppercut on the inside. Whoever wins this one will go through to face Salas Filho of Brazil, who received a bye in this first preliminary round, and it's going to be Albert Gonzalez unless something pretty extraordinary happens in the final round. 10-9s again in round 2.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
Long right hand to kick things off with there for Timofejic at the start of round 3. It was a good shot. Left to the body from Gonzalez. Delivers that from really low. That left hand at times almost down by his knee. And again there, looking for the body with it. Slings it in from such a low angle. It's difficult to defend against, and Timofeychuk can tend to leave that body exposed a little bit when he gets those gloves up towards his head. He's quite long-bodied, being a tall man. There's that left again, just thudding into the midriff of Timofeychuk. And it's been mostly body punching that Gonzalez has gone for. I think the reason for that may well be the fact that Timofeychuk, when he picks that guard up to protect his head, can at times let those elbows flare away a bit and leave some space, as he did there. Uppercut, though, from Gonzalez. That was very cute, very good work. He's a very skillful fighter. If you leave him any kind of a gap, he will find it. Falling short with the right hand there. Timofeychuk. Gonzalez had just taken a step to his left-hand side and then just clipped him with the left hand to the side of the head as Timofeychuk moved past him. Lead right uppercut from Gonzalez. It's been a good performance. Been a very good performance from Gonzalez. He's shown us an array of punches. And as I said, without taking any real risks there, without really opening up at any point, he's just boxed his way through those 3 rounds. He's won all 3 rounds with something to spare.
Ladies and gentlemen, in about 117 win by points with unanimous decision from the red corner, Albert Gonzalez Monteagudo.
So Gonzalez gets it. A couple of 10-8s in there from Guatemala and Ireland. The other 3 giving 3 scores of 10-9. So a comprehensive victory there for Albert Gonzalez. 10-8s in that final round there from Sadie Duffy
Mangold from Germany, and we go to the
and Pastor Emerson.
The next fight, 172, middleweight division.
I mentioned at the start when we went through the schedule that we've got some walkovers, and the announcer just confirming one there. The next fight was supposed to be Ilias Benlami of Morocco against Marcel Mangold of Germany. Benlami unable to box, so Mangold of Germany has gone through via a walkover. There we go, confirmation of that. Marcel Mangold of Germany through to the next stage, where he will face the winner of our next fight. Just a slight delay here in Ring B. That next one will be Ilya Torbitsky of Ukraine, the European Youth Champion, up against an Armenian fighter in Erik Abelian. So that is Jafar Heydali of Azerbaijan. He'll be in action a little bit later against William Rosen of Cholov of Bulgaria. That should be a really good fight. Cholov, a two-time European junior champion. And that's Manish of India. He'll be up against Israel's Daniel Ilyushanok. 3 more fights to come in Ring B.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we start about 172 in the Ring B middleweight division men's. Please, to the red corner from Ukraine, Ilya Torbitsky.
Here comes Torbitsky of Ukraine, as I said, the European Youth Champion. So plenty expected from him.
And his opponent, please, to the blue corner from Armenia, Erik Abelian.
And Erik Abelian into the blue corner for Armenia.
And the judges of this fight, Korea, Sri Lanka, Ireland, Bulgaria, and Uzbekistan, and the referee from Slovakia, Radoslav Simon.
خیلی چیم کنه از که بخوزم
No holding, punches up, listen my commands.
So another bout here in the middleweight division. In the red there, with the UKR of Ukraine on his back, is Ilya Torbitsky, the European Youth Champion. And in blue there for Armenia, Erik Abelian. Torbitsky looking to try and find that jab early on, followed it with the right hand. Abelian, though, fired back. Good jab to the body there from Abelian. And then caught one himself right in the chest. Jab to the chest, a much underrated punch. It takes your opponent totally off balance, takes the steam out of them. Might not hurt them, but tactically, it absolutely achieves what you need it to. Torbitsky Little uppercut on the inside. Haven't found their range yet, these two. Plenty being let go, plenty being thrown, but not very much landing. And then when they do get in tight like that, they're a bit too tight. No real space to work. Right hand, a right hand apiece there. Right hand from Abeli, and then another one in from Toibitsky. Slurping each other in centre ring, really. Just throwing that left hand as he was moving off to the left there, Abelian. Looking for the body, Toibitsky. Abelian did well to turn him on the ropes there. Left to the body from Abelian. Aiming a big right hand there, Toibitsky. Abelian saw that coming from a way back. Both jabbing, both falling short. Into the final minute. Good short right hand there from Toibitsky. Took his feet in, just shortened the right hand up and caught Abelian as his weight was coming forward. Jab there from Toibitsky, who maybe has just found his distance a little bit better of the two, heading into this final minute of the opening round. Switch southpaw very, very briefly there, Toibitsky. Didn't throw anything out of the left-handed stance. Chopping down with the right hand there, the Ukrainian. Bell goes at the end of the round. Well, that was tight for a long stretch. The final minute there, I felt Toibitsky maybe just pulled away. Just did enough. Judges in agreement with that. 10-9s from all five. Korea, Sri Lanka, Ireland, Bulgaria, Uzbekistan. A lot of fencing early on, jabs that weren't quite reaching.
Seconds out, please. Round two.
So into the second round, Toibitsky of Ukraine in the red. He swept the board in that first round, 10-9s from all five judges. Abelian in blue of Armenia. He's got to do something about that in his second round now. Decent combination there from Toibitsky, finished on the left hand. Looked to throw the right hand there, Abelian, it wasn't quite there. Jab again from Toibitsky. Good attack to the body there from Abelian. Still moving forward, the Armenian. Still doing everything that he can to try and get on top of Toibitsky and force the issue, wrestling on the inside. Good right hand there from Abelian. Toibitsky trying to use the jab on the outside. I think towards the final minute of round 2, he's got a very muscular approach, Abelian. He looks like a very fit fighter. Jab coming out there from Toibitsky, and maybe just some slight signs towards the end of the round that Toibitsky's beginning to feel this a touch. Abelian just falling short with the right hand there. Switching southpaw there, Toibitsky, just to give Abelian something else to think about. Some blood coming from the nose there of Abelian. That was a decent punch right on the break. Final 30 seconds of the round. I think maybe both of them actually are just beginning to feel it slightly. And the blood coming from the nose will be wiped away there by the doctor over in the neutral corner. He'll have a quick look at it, maybe have a quick feel of the bridge of the nose just to make sure that it's all okay. So that's the second round in the books. And Abelian needs that second round on the scorecards, having dropped the first. I don't think he's going to get it. 10-9s again for Ilya Torbitsky. So he's in control of this heading into the third and final round. We've seen this scenario a good few times since the start of the competition, and Abelian somehow got to try and turn this around. Nobody's really managed it yet when their opponent has had a majority of 2-point leads, let alone all 5. It's a very, very difficult thing to do.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
Good jab that from Abelian. Toibitsky throws a couple of jabs himself, then the right hand. Just trying to distract Abelian there. Toibitsky shooting that right hand to the side, and then just a little shuffle. Abelian won't be taking kindly to that, I can tell you. A lot of blood coming from that nose. Makes you wonder whether there is a bit of damage there, because he's just been touched on it, really. And there's a fair bit falling out of it. It's not an absolute torrent, but the more there is, the more you think that there could be a fracture in there. The bridge of his nose is pretty thick as it is. I think that nose has gone on him before. Most fighters have suffered that. But Abelian quickly back to the centre of the ring. Good jab from Toibitsky. Nice left hand on the inside as well. And he's got a bit of swagger about him, Toibitsky. Again, just dancing around with the feet, taunting Abelian a bit. Slightly unnecessary, I think, to be honest, at this stage of proceedings, but for the showmanship, not the worst thing in the world. Crunching right hand, and Abelian's gum shield comes out. He celebrates dislodging it, and he is beginning to pick Abelian apart a bit in this third and final round. He's won those opening 2 rounds, and now he's just really, he's turning the screw on him a bit. And the referee is going to stop the fight on the advice of the doctor. And I think there is a fracture there. You can see that the bridge of the nose has noticeably thickened since he was first sent over to that far neutral corner to see the doctor. I don't think that's my eyes deceiving me. I think that is quite noticeable. And the amount of blood coming from the nose would suggest that there there could be a break in there. And he was just beginning to cut a slightly sorry figure, Rebellion, because he was 2 rounds down. He couldn't win the fight. Toibitsky was beginning to play with him a bit. And no bad thing, I don't think, that he's been rescued to an extent before the end of that fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, bout number 172 by RCE in third round from the red corner, Ilias Tochopitsky, Ukraine.
So Toibitsky in the next round will face Marcel Mangold of Germany, who got that walkover in the previous scheduled bout.
Seconds out, please. Round 3.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we stand about 173 in the ring B middleweight division. Please into the red corner from Azerbaijan, Jafar Haidari.
Well, we saw Haidari keeping loose backstage about 20 minutes or so ago. And here he is, boxing for Azerbaijan out of the red corner.
And his opponent, please, to the blue corner from Bulgaria, William Cholov.
And his opponent, the 2-time European junior champion from Bulgaria, William Cholov, who wears the blue, and plenty is expected of him at middleweight in this tournament.
And the judges of this bout, Mongolia, Jordan, Latvia, Israel, and Poland, and the referee from Guatemala, Mr. Pastor Emerson.
I have to say that Azerbaijan tracksuit is absolutely tremendous. Some of the kits you see at international tournaments are just superb. I'm an absolute sucker for a good kit. So there's the judges: Mongolia, Jordan, Latvia, Israel, and Poland. So on the left-hand side of your picture there is Cholov, the 2-time European junior champion from Bulgaria. He's in the blue. Jafar Haidari of Azerbaijan in the red. Haidari, orthodox. Cholov, southpaw. Left to the body there from Cholov early on. Scored. Right to the body from Haidari. Cholov took his feet in nicely there. The left hand was measured well. He's managing to reach with that left. Cholov, he's out of range of Haidali, or he seems to be, but steps in, commits to it, and has managed to find the target with it a couple of times. 1 minute into round one. Haidali just kind of marauding forward there, quite open as he threw that left hand. That was a well-timed left from Cholov as Haidali came onto the front foot. Wasn't quite enough room for the left hand there for Cholov. He just slipped that punch nicely, dipped to his left, but just a bit too cramped to find a home for that left hand. Left hand again to the body, then up to the chin. He's a good fighter. He came with a reputation, as I said, as a two-time European junior champion, and he's got some skills, certainly. It's difficult for Haidali really to do a lot with him. He just can't match him for speed. Final few seconds of round one. And it's been the Bulgarian fighter in the blue who has dictated the course of events in this opening round so far. Bell goes. Five scores of 10-9 for Cholov.
Seconds out, please. Second round.
So into round two, Bulgaria's William Cholov in the blue, boxing out of the southpaw stance there, representing Azerbaijan in the red, is Jaffer Haidali. Cholov had the better of that opening round. Got a lot of speed, good reflexes. Sharp puncher. Didn't hit Haidali with anything massive in that opening round. He aimed a massive overhand right there, but didn't find the target with it. Mostly scored to the body. A couple of little uppercuts in there, looking for the longer left hand there. But he had more joy really when he was just slightly up close. That's a good right hand, leading off with the right hook there. And then the southpaw left hand just goes straight through the middle of the guard. Long left hand just caught Haidali again. I think he felt the referee might be about to tell them to break. He didn't. Cholov turned him. Haidali's trying to make something happen here because he knows that he's lost that first round and that he's got to do something, but it's a very, very difficult task. The more he opens up, I think the more joy that Cholov will have. Poked out a long right hand there, Haidali, which just about got to its destination. Left to the body again there from Cholov.
Ay sabahına. Sağ, sol, sağ. İşte. Round'u aparırsan işte. Sık onu. Sık bu round'u apardın işte. 3 serbe, 3 vur. Yoruldun vur. Gelin 3 serbe. Aç çekmez. Haberdarlık verecek mi? 3 serbe. Sol at, sol, sağ. Bir de. Attır. Orada işte.
Slightly untidy in the last 30 seconds or so. These two having a bit of a wrestle down towards the blue corner. Both breathing quite heavily, actually, towards the end of round 2. Looking for the left there, Cholov. Set his feet and really put his weight behind that one. But you look at the state of these two towards the end of round 2, and it's interesting because I wouldn't say this has been fought at a frenetic pace. It's been fairly physical on the inside at times, but he looks absolutely done there, Jaffer Haidari. He has been hit with some good punches, and maybe there's a bit more on those shots than we think from Cholov, because he has the look of a man who has no great appetite for the fight at the moment. But having said that, he comes straight back in with a nice, snappy, short right hand and just rocks back the head of Cholov. So that'll give Haidari some encouragement heading into the third and final round. But it's Cholov who takes it again on all 5 cards, so he's got that 2-point advantage going into the final round, and we've seen this movie before.
Çemeni tutmuşsan 3 serbe. 3 serbe, 3 dalmadan.
Seconds out, please. Third round.
So the third and final round here, and Cholov, the 2-time European junior champion, who came into this one as a heavy favourite. He's justified that. He's a couple of rounds to the good. He's boxing in the blue for Bulgaria. Jaffer Haidari of Azerbaijan is in the red. He's worked hard, Haidari. He was finding things tough towards the end of that second round there. But he's still looking to try and be positive, try and throw as much as he can. But Cholov is a difficult puzzle to try and solve. He's got good, fast twitch kind of movement. Just having a bit of success there, Haidari, trying to step on Cholov. And Cholov is just beginning to blow a bit here, midway through round 3. Similar story to the second round, where in the final minute of that, they both looked like they would welcome hearing the bell to signal the end of the round at any point, really, from a minute out. And this is kind of the same. It is a bit strange, as I said in that previous round, because it's been a good fight and it's been boxed at a good pace. Not the kind of pace that you would imagine would lead to elite level fighters, and that's what these are. So kind of low on energy as we head to the final stages. Maybe I'm being a little bit unfair, but we've seen a lot of fights in this ring over the course of today, over the course of the previous few days, that have been every bit as demanding as this one, and the participants seem to have just held up to it a little bit better. Left hand on the inside there from Cholov. There goes the bell. And as I said, both of them pretty spent as the final bell goes there. Right hand from Haydari. He had some success in that final round, a bit more than he did in the previous two.
And gentlemen, in this bout, win by points and unanimous decision from the blue corner, William Cholov, Bulgaria.
So Cholov takes it, and it was 10 points to 9, with all 5 judges 3 times over. So 5 scores of 30 points to 27. So he goes safely through to the next stage, where he will be up against a Greek fighter called Nikolaos Antonopoulos, who was due to face Anthony Vivaro of Ecuador in our next fight, but Vivaro unable to compete. So Nikolaos Antonopoulos goes through with a walkover.
In the bout 174. In the middleweight division men's, we have the walkover. And the winner by walkover from Greece, Nikolaos Antonopoulos.
That walkover just confirmed by the announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the bout number 175 in the ring B in middleweight division for men's. That will be the last bout in this session in ring B. Please into the red corner from India, Manish.
So final bout of the day in ring B. In the middleweight division, Manish of India just jogging his way into the red corner.
And his opponent, please into the blue corner from Israel, Daniel Ilias.
And heading into the arena To box out of the blue corner from Israel, Daniel Ilyushinok.
And the judges of this bout, Slovak, Sri Lanka, Jordan, Turkey, Latvia, and the referee from Mongolia, Mr. Van Dol Badra.
So for the final time today, the referee just goes to check out the gloves, head guard, protector, and gum shield for all of these fighters. That's the ritual. Just to make sure the protector is in, just to make sure the gloves are bound properly, the thumbs are attached, the head guard is on securely, the gum shield is in. So Manish in the red corner and Daniel Ilyushinok of Israel in the blue. Manish boxing for India. So Ilyushinok, a southpaw, Manish, an orthodox fighter. Very upright, Ilyushinok. That's the first thing you noticed about him. Very, very upright. Not much give in those knees. Just pecking with the jab. Manish looking to try and go to the body with the right hand. Manish is trying to put it on Ilyushinok. I think he's fancying his chances here a little bit because the Israeli does look nice and relaxed, but as I said, he's got that bolt upright style and carries that chin quite high. And when he pushes out that backhand there, that left hand, he just comes round almost completely square. Stands quite square in his usual stance there, just feeling out with that left hand. And there's quite a lot of red flags about the style there of Ilyushinok, but not everybody conforms to the textbook, to the absolute letter. Manish is a front foot, aggressive fighter. And that's been the stock in trade for the Indian fighters I've seen in Ring B so far, without exception in this competition. They look to get on the front foot, come forward, throw plenty of punches. Pressure fighters, every one of them so far. Manish just throwing a few little feints with that front foot, trying to draw something from Ilyushinok. Ilyushinok backpedaling rapidly there. But did a pretty good job of it. Kept himself out of trouble. Left hand there from Manish. Good jab there from Ilyushinok to finish the round. Manish closing in, looking for the right hand. It's Manish who was the busier of the two there. Got onto the inside, let flurries go. Not an awful lot landed clean, to be honest. But he outworked Ilyushinok. I'm kind of fascinated by Ilyushinok because the way he stands so upright, quite square. 4 10-9s for Manish there, 1 for Ilyushinok. I'm not shocked by that because, like I said, not too much clean landed from either fighter. It was it was industry really that gave Manish the edge in that first round rather than clean punching. But as I was saying about the Ilyushinok, and that's a good example there, he stands so upright, he's quite square, he carries that chin quite high anyway, and then when he's backpedaling and pulling back, he carries it even higher. He kind of looks like a knockout waiting to happen, but he's got good composure, he doesn't look the least bit concerned.
Round 2.
And he's just sticking to what he does, which is lead off with that southpaw right hand, and look to try and throw the left. And when Manish does put it on him, he's used those feet and he's managed to pull himself back out of range. Right hand there from Manish, but he took it well there, Ilyushinok, and then just looks to try and cuff with that left hand. That was kind of nicely thrown punch, actually. Got good rotation into it. Manish goes with the right hand to the body. Ilyushinok needs to work harder. That's the problem he's got here, and he's been forced into that in the second round. He'll know that he's behind. As I said, he never looked in any trouble in that opening round. Despite some of the things that I've pointed out, he never looked in any trouble. But Manish just outworked him. Decent bit of head movement on the ropes there from Ilyushinok. Manish was closing in again, and the Indian has found it difficult to get to grips with him. Provided plenty of industries, thrown a lot. Looking for the left hand there, Ilyushinok. Orthodox for a second there, Ilyushinok. Landed, and as I said, then found the exit, just pulled back. Gloves down by his side. He's got good feet to be able to do that. Looking for the left hand there, Manish. That was perilously close. Right hand from the Indian as well. And Ilyushinok has upped the punch output a bit in this round. Manish has done the same thing again. He gets on the front foot there and he lets his hands go, but all of those were blocked. Hooking off the back foot there, Ilyushinok. And then sticking a left hand. That was a decent punch towards the end of the round. And Ilyushinok gets it in round two. He gets it 10-9 all the way there. So it's tied up at 19 points apiece heading into the final round on 4 scorecards. And as I said, he did just up his work rate in that second round. And the judges would have felt there that he landed the cleaner shots. More of the work rate in the industry again came from Manish, but it's about clean punching. That's what it's about. And 4 of them are found in his favour there, so this is in the balance. This is absolutely in the balance. He's got this kind of languid, laconic style, the Israeli fighter. But as I said, he's got good temperament, good composure. He sticks to his method. Now Manish will do the same thing he's been doing. Right hand there from Ilyushinok. Catches him on the way in. I think if he's going to have success in Manish, he's got to have 2 phases of attack. Close in, go once, and if he can push Ilyushinok back, go again. Because, as we've noticed, the Israeli fighter pulls out, he pulls back in a straight line. So if you step on him, he pulls back, step on him again. I think then you can catch up with him. That one phase, he's very good at taking those feet out. Okay, he's upright. Okay, his chin's up in the air, his gloves are down. All those things I mentioned, but he can do it. Right hand there from Manish was a better shot. He got his feet into range, leading off with a right hand there. Left followed by right by Manish, and that was almost what I was talking about there. He's really got to sustain these attacks, really commit to them. Closing in, throwing one flurry, and then grabbing hold or stopping. That's not what he needs to do here. He's got to really, really force this. Did get caught a couple of times on the way in there, the Indian fighter in red. Ilyushinok of Israel in blue. It's been an interesting fight, this. Into the second half of round 3. He's having a bit more joy in this round, Manish. Left to the body there from Ilyushinok. Manish is taking this final round at the minute, I think. Short jab there, though, from Ilyushinok. Just rocked his head back. Gets onto the inside, let's go to the body. But there was a good stiff left hand that caught him on the way in again there. You could see the head jerk back. And again, this is pretty tight, this final round. Manish, once again, has found it difficult to get on top of Ilyushinok. He won that first round on work rate, really. But again, Ilyushinok catches him a couple of times on the way in there, Manish. He just came in straight, didn't move his head, as he generally doesn't. And the Israeli just retreating onto the back foot. Got enough on that. Those are some clean shots, 3, 4 real clean punches he's landed right towards the end of the round here, Ilyushinok. And there goes the bell, and the Indian corner like it, but I think that's close. All through the fight, the man you're looking at there was the aggressor. He was looking to get onto the front foot, and his kind of fists mirror his feet to an extent. That right foot will come forward, so will the right glove. Left foot, left glove with it. Feet crossing. It's not really, again, what you will find in the manual. Both of these two do things which you won't find in some coaching manuals, but they have their method. And Ilyushinok did land some good shots towards the end of the round there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of last bout in today's session in Ring B. Win on points by split decision from the red corner, Manish, India.
Manish gets it. Manish gets it. It was level on 4 cards going into the final round, and there wasn't much in that final round, I didn't think. First 2 minutes, he worked hard. He did put together a couple of phases of attack at times, which was something I was suggesting he needed to do to push him back and then push him back again. And he got it actually with all four of those judges who had it level going into that final round. I don't think there was much in that final round. Again, and Ilyushinok finished with a little bit of a flourish. That was a really interesting fight to finish with, actually. Really enjoyed that. And that rounds up our coverage from Ring B for the day. So Manish goes through to the next round. He will be up against Abdallah Alarag of Jordan, who got a bye into the final 16 of the men's middleweight division. 29 fighters entered at middleweight. So it's been another good day. Another really interesting day. We had some tremendous fights at light heavyweight and a real good one at super heavyweight as well towards the end, right at the end of the afternoon session. Okay, well, I'll just leave you with the final results. I hope everybody has enjoyed it, and please do join us again tomorrow.
Zapełniasz na jutro.
Co?
Na jutro, żeby zapełnić.